Buried under what appears to be an ordinary hill near Puebla, Mexico, lies the largest pyramid ever constructed by humans, a structure so immense it eclipses even Egypt's Great Pyramid by almost 2 million cubic meters. For over 1,000 years, the people of Cholula layered brick upon brick, building a monument dedicated to the Feathered Serpent god, concealing their creation so completely that the Spanish unknowingly built a church on its summit. But when scientists carved into this man-made mountain, they uncovered a network of hidden chambers and mysterious burials that defy explanation. Just what did they find beneath Cholula's buried colossus, and why are the world's best archaeologists still searching for answers? Cholula, the hidden giant of Mexico. Just 6 kilometers west of Puebla, an ordinary hill rises from the valley floor, so wide and so subtle that it's easy to miss what lies beneath. At its base, the ground stretches 300 meters in one direction and 315 in the other, swallowing up soccer fields, city blocks, and even the memory of what once stood here. But this is no natural hill. Packed tight inside its slopes are more than 4.4 million cubic meters of adobe and stone, making it the largest pyramid by volume on the planet. By comparison, Egypt's Great Pyramid of Giza, famous for its towering profile, holds only about 2.5 million cubic meters. Cholula's mass nearly doubles that, yet it barely breaks the skyline, camouflaged by centuries of grass, trees, and the slow work of weather. Its disguise proved nearly perfect. When Spanish conquistadors marched into the region in the 16th century, they saw only an inviting rise, ideal for a church, not a temple. In 1594, they crowned the summit with the Church of Our Lady of Remedies, never realizing their altar stood atop a monument already 1,000 years old. Today, the white domes and yellow walls of the church gleam above the greenery, a beacon visible for miles. But beneath that colonial sanctuary, the world's largest pyramid waits, hidden in plain sight, daring anyone to guess its true scale. What secrets could a structure this immense and this well-concealed possibly hold inside? Over nearly 1,000 years, the people of Cholula shaped their world in adobe and stone. Construction began in the 3rd century before Christ, with each generation layering new walls, terraces, and ceremonial spaces atop the last. 4 main building stages rose in succession, each one dedicated to Quetzalcoatl, the Feathered Serpent, whose cult united city and cosmos. The result was not a single monument, but a living mountain, expanded and renewed as rulers changed and centuries passed. The name Cholula comes from ancient Nahuatl, meaning place of refuge, and at its height, the city sheltered around 100,000 residents. That made Cholula the 2nd largest city in pre-Hispanic Mexico, second only to the great metropolis of Teotihuacan. As the city flourished, so did the pyramid, its core growing ever more complex, layer upon layer, a history written in mud brick and lime. Each addition preserved the memory of those who came before, creating a structure as much about continuity as ambition. The pyramid's multi-layered design, like Russian nesting dolls, would one day reveal its secrets to those willing to look beneath the surface. What drove generations to keep building? And what stories did they seal inside each tier of earth and stone? In 1931, architect Ignacio Marquina arrived at Cholula with a bold plan and a set of blueprints that challenged centuries of local legend. Armed with little more than a compass and the conviction that the hill concealed something extraordinary, Marquina's team began to carve into its side. The first tunnels cut through layers of dense adobe, each meter revealing evidence of deliberate construction rather than natural formation. As days turned into weeks, the passageways multiplied, branching, descending, mapping out the hidden body of the pyramid. Over the next 2 decades, Marquina's campaign would extend for 8 kilometers beneath the surface, tracing out a subterranean labyrinth that few outsiders had ever imagined. Inside these tunnels, the team discovered more than simple walls. Murals, painted in ochre and black, flickered into view under lantern light. Scenes of ritual processions, feasting, and the unmistakable outline of the Feathered Serpent. The architecture itself told a silent story. Talud tablero panels, a stepped design borrowed from distant Teotihuacan, emerged from the gloom, confirming links between Cholula and other great Mesoamerican cities. Today, only 800 meters of these tunnels are open to visitors, but Marquina's maps reveal a far greater maze, one that winds through ceremonial chambers and ancient stairways. Each corridor, each mural, each adobe wall offered proof that this was no ordinary hill. Marquina's work transformed folklore into fact, opening a path into the pyramid's deepest layers and into mysteries that still wait in the darkness. Restoration work on the pyramid's Pasito stairway began in December 2022, led by archaeologists Mariana Toledo Mendieta and Catalina Castilla Morales of the INAH team. Within weeks, their efforts uncovered an adobe core buried deep inside the structure, evidence of a construction phase dating back between 100 and 600 CE. This core, once hidden by later expansions, offered a rare glimpse into building methods that had long since vanished from the surface. According to Toledo, even without the original facade or plaster, the adobe nuclei hint at the pyramid's ancient shape and the ambitions of its architects. Just meters away, a cluster of broken ceramics surfaced in the fill, identified as pre-Hispanic braziers. The pattern was unmistakable. Each time a brazier cracked from the heat, another was placed directly on top, forming a vertical sequence of fire pits. This layering suggests a continuous cycle of ritual burning, possibly stretching across generations. The purpose remains uncertain. Were these flames meant to light the pyramid, or did they serve as offerings to unseen gods? For now, the evidence points to a sustained use of fire, woven into the fabric of Cholula's ceremonial life. Among the most striking finds was a cylindrical white stone sculpture, 30 centimeters tall, carved with the goggle eyes and fanged mouth of Tlaloc, T-L-A-H-Loc, the rain deity. Its discovery hints at rituals for agricultural fertility, echoing ancient prayers for rain in a land where drought could mean disaster. Every artifact was hauled out by hand, as heavy machinery would have risked further damage, especially after the 2017 earthquake left scars both visible and hidden. For Toledo, Castilla, and their team, each step into the earth brought new questions. What other secrets lie sealed beneath the pyramid's shifting layers? Excavations between 1967 and 1970 laid bare a reality few were prepared to face. Beneath the courtyard of altars, archaeologists uncovered more than 400 human burials, each one a silent witness to the pyramid's darker purpose. Among the remains, 8 children and adults were found sealed inside ceramic pots, their bodies placed under the courtyard floor. These individuals were not ordinary burials. Scholars believe they served as messengers to Tlaloc, T-L-A-H-Loc, the rain god, offered during times of desperate drought. The soil around them still held traces of ritual offerings, fragments of pottery, shells, and pigments marking their passage from this world to the next. These discoveries transformed the courtyard from a ceremonial stage into a site of profound human cost, reminding us that devotion here was measured not only in stone, but in lives surrendered to the gods. Every spring, the slopes of Cholula come alive with color and music as thousands gather for the festival of the Virgin of Remedies. Pilgrims climb the ancient mound, candles in hand, while dancers in feathered headdresses circle the base, echoing rituals that predate the church above. The pyramid draws hundreds of thousands each year, its tunnels and museum bustling with visitors from across the globe. Yet for all its fame, fundamental questions remain unanswered. No ancient DNA studies have been done on the burials, leaving the origins and kinship of those interred a mystery. Advanced surveys, like muon tomography or LIDAR, have barely scratched the surface, and scholars still debate the true purpose of the tunnel network. For scientists and the local community alike, Cholula stands as both a living heritage and an open invitation. What lies beneath awaits discovery. The Great Pyramid of Cholula measures 300 by 315 meters at its base and contains over 4.45 million cubic meters of material, making it the largest pyramid by volume on Earth. Excavations have revealed more than 8 kilometers of tunnels, over 400 human burials, and ceremonial artifacts dedicated to Quetzalcoatl and Tlaloc. Despite decades of research, the true purpose of many chambers, the full extent of the subterranean network, and the identities of those buried remain uncertain. Advanced surveys like ancient DNA analysis and full tunnel mapping have yet to be completed. Today, the pyramid is both a sacred site for traditional festivals and a focus for ongoing scientific study. The evidence confirms Cholula's builders achieved remarkable feats of engineering and ritual, but much of their story is still hidden beneath the surface. The unexplained discoveries beneath Cholula remind us that even the most studied monuments can hold secrets beyond current knowledge.